Today, we're thrilled to have Larry Kasanoff back on the show. Larry is a visionary producer and entrepreneur with a storied career in Hollywood. He's here to discuss his groundbreaking new venture, Supergiant Studios, where you can star in a short film with a famous Hollywood celebrity in his latest book, Malibu Blonde, which has skyrocketed to #1 on Amazon. Let's get some insights. Larry Kasanoff, welcome, sir.
Hi, Ron. Nice to be back.
Glad to have you with us. So, Supergiant Studios, what is this?
So given the what you just went through with all the bad news, my mission in entertainment in my movies and my other ventures is to bring back fun. And there are two ways I want to talk about it today. So the first is Supergiant Studios. As a movie producer, making things like Mortal Kombat, people always say to me, the #1 question I get is, boy, that must be amazing. How if I could be on set for one day, if I could be in a movie for one day. It's a fantasy. Could we do that? We started thinking, maybe we can make this come true. And so long story short, we did. So clients can now come to us and tell us their fantasy. Yeah, I want to tell my life story. I want to do this. And we will create for them an actual short film, 7 to 10 minutes long. And we will get a famous Hollywood celebrity to act opposite them. And we will cast them, write it, direct it, produce it, and give them, for something they can have forever, a short film starring them. So, for example, we did one recently with Tom Arnold. Tom I know well from True Lies, which I'm executive producer of. And so Tom came and acted with a woman who has an incredible life story. And it's funny and it's cute and it's sweet. And actually, the film now has become the basis for a charitable foundation that woman is starting about suicide prevention. And so star in a short film with a Hollywood celebrity. Contact us at supergiantstudios.net and we will do everything. Just let us know and our team will talk to you. And this is a once in a lifetime event. This is quite game changing.
That sounds pretty fascinating. I mean, it's I could just see all the thoughts of people that go through this. But I love the idea that in a day and age like this, where there's so many people that are antagonizing one another,
yeah,
that you're doing stuff that's all about having a good time and fun. And I'm not a big fan of movies, but when I've gone to the movies, it's like 2 or 3 hours of escape from reality.
Yeah, that's why I got into movies. When I was a kid, my father took me to see Thunderball, and I thought, oh my God, this is great. And ever since, the way I go and the movies I make are all about escapism. And so you forget the world, you forget your troubles, and you go to someplace else. The magic of movies still exists to be able to do that. I think it's fantastic. And it's
when you talk about doing a movie like this, then it kind of brings back to our question of the day. And Josh I forgot the exact terminology that I put in there. Are you using AI? Are you using AI in your life today? Are these done with people, or is it all done through artificial intelligence?
No. We get the people, but AI is fantastic for the film business because, for example, the client is paying for this. We try and keep the cost as affordable as we can, although it's not cheap. And with AI now, all of a sudden, let's say we want, Ron Siegel, establishing shot, Castle on the Moon. Well, now we can make that shot with AI much more affordable than we could before. And so it helps not only in our short films, but in our regular feature films. The problem with movies are that people are a little too negative about the subject matter and they cost too much money. AI helps. It's a great tool. I've been involved in a lot of technological innovations in the movie business. I've been fortunate, and usually they make the whole thing better. People get scared, but AI is great for the movies, and it's great for our short film business because but the people are real, the celebrities are real. That's not fake.
Interesting. So that means, so if you're dealing with real celebrities, that means it's got to be it's not for the those of moderate means.
Well, it costs as much. It depends on the project, but it costs as much as a really nice vacation. And so you think to yourself, the average cost of a feature film today is $500,000 to $1 million a minute. This is way, 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 way less than that. But it costs about as much as going on a really nice vacation, except you have this film. And then if you want, we'll enter the film in film festivals all over the world. So now you get your film, you're on the set. A lot of people have told us it was the best day of their lives. And then later, they're flying to the French Riviera to see their movie in a film festival that they might win. It's a great experience. And what we're finding is people have really interesting stories to tell. The clients, we thought we'd put them in science fiction stories or whatever. A lot of their lives are fictionalized for the story. And who's becoming our biggest group of clients? Really high-end real estate professionals. They especially in Southern California, they seem to like the idea because it's a great bucket list thing to do, but also because it distinguishes them in the marketplace. Now, rather than having an ad, they have an actual movie with them in it and a celebrity. So we're getting a lot of inquiries from your crowd.
Well, you know something, that's a great market there, because so many people in the real estate world have gotten introduced to idea of writing their own book.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They use that kind of as a business card. Well, now they've got a business card that could be their own movie.
That's exactly right. It's nothing like it in the world. It's never been done before.
Wow, it's pretty fascinating. When we come back, I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk about your new book, Malibu Blonde.
My second way to bring back fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one as well. You're continuing our conversation. Larry Kasanoff is with us, author and filmmaker and purveyor of fun.
I like that.
Can we coin that one, Larry?
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. I get cards made up right away.
There we go. Malibu Blonde. So it's a book, and I got a little summary of it. Go ahead and tell us about it.
So my other life, I'm a photographer, and Malibu Blonde is a coffee table book full of gorgeous models, kind of a throwback to the 90s vibe with sun-kissed aura in the background of gorgeous models on the beach in Malibu. And there are two missions with Malibu Blonde.
What a tough life having to take those pictures, Larry.
One, every penny I make from Malibu Blonde book and the pictures in it goes to support endangered elephant charities. And our second mission is to bring back fun. And people ask me a lot, well, what do beautiful models have to do with elephants? And I kind of think of it as, well, it's one group of gorgeous creatures helping another. I think my next book will be half-naked elephants, and we'll give all the money to models. So, make it fair. But it's a great project, and it's been really fun to shoot. And it just came out, and its first 2 days, it went to #1 new book and #1 bestseller on Amazon. And we're having an event for it at Zinke in Malibu on August 17th, Saturday at 2:00. Please come, schmooze, drink, meet the models, chat with me, get book signed if you want. But it's really taking off because why? Because of the bring back fun. I think the elephants too. But I mean, it's great. Malibu is iconic. You go anywhere in the world and you mention Malibu, and people immediately think of young, pretty, playful, gorgeous women and movie stars and puppy dogs and red convertibles and football games on the beach. And I wanted to bring back that sense. I wanted to make people smile, and I wanted to make elephants smile, which is why we're helping them. That's what we're doing it. So Malibu Blonde, bring back fun. You can buy it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or anywhere books are sold.
And we put a link because that way it's nice and easy for you, rsrlinks.com/Malibu.
There you go.
And that'll go right to the Amazon page, so you can get get Larry's book. So it's a coffee table book. So it's something that's it's a little bigger.
It's a bigger coffee table book, all pictures of, as I said, gorgeous models having a great time on the beach in Malibu. It's sexy, it's playful, it's fun. It's kind of like a 90s vibe. We don't do this enough. We're too uptight now. And again, as I said in the last segment, my mission is to bring back fun. And Malibu Blonde is doing that. That's the response we're getting. It's fun, it's playful. It makes you happy. It makes you want to run out to the beach in Malibu. No matter where in the world you are, take a little bit of Malibu home.
In Malibu, always, like you said earlier, Malibu, you just think about fun in Malibu, aside from the unfortunate times where we hear about Malibu and the fires and things that they have there. But it seems like a great, great place. And maybe I'm a little prejudiced. I love the beach.
Me too.
So the idea of being out there on a beach has always got to be great.
It's a long story, but I moved to Malibu for what I thought was 3 months, 15 years ago, and stayed. And anywhere you go in the world, I've been to rural China, I've been to Uzbekistan, Jordan, and you mentioned Malibu, immediately that image is world famous, and everyone thinks of it that way. That just, Beach Boys music and girls in convertibles and puppy dogs, and it's playful and it's sexy. And that kind of playful, sexy, happy fun, we don't have too much anymore. So we wanted to bring it back, and that's what we did in the book.
Yeah, I looked at some of the notes that we have on it. And, it brings back, I just saw last week, I saw an interview with Mike Love from the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
And you probably, well, maybe you go bring your two together, Larry, and do a short documentary with Mike Love and have the book on the table there.
Well, it's funny you say that. So, I know Mike, and I know Mike really well. Our dear friend, Michael Lloyd, who's a music genius, producer, composer, music supervisor, has worked with Mike for years. And Michael Lloyd and Mike Love and I have talked about doing something more with Malibu Blonde. And we're actually now not with Mike Love per se, but But my company and Michael Lloyd, we're developing a Malibu Blonde movie, which is going to be a musical set on the beach in Malibu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity one time to meet Mike Love, and it was just by chance. We were at the same restaurant, and my dad actually went to school with Mike Love.
He's a great guy.
And yeah, well, yeah, and ironically enough, my dad, when the two of them were chatting, and obviously, I'm not sure if Mike Love even remembered my dad, but my dad used to share that no one ever had a clue that he could sing, and he was the most introverted person in high school that you'd ever want to meet.
Oh, he's funny.
So,
no, he's a funny guy, and you got to hand it. I mean, their music defined a whole culture, a whole generation. That sound is still iconic. So you think about it, driving up PCH in a red convertible with a gorgeous girl and a surfboard and then going to the beach. That's my book.
You know something? I might have to take a picture for it because I don't have a red convertible. I've got a gray one. I've got a beautiful wife, so we could take a picture, and you might have to AI me out of it because that's
cracking. No. You got a little kind of Hawaiian shirt going on there. You're good.
And I love Hawaii, so there we go. But Malibu, something sounds like, you got to really enjoy your career, Larry, because all these things. So many people are dealing with challenges, and your whole career is about fun. I mean, it
is fun, and I don't want to make it. I don't want to be too. It can be challenging to get these things done, but at least one of the things that keeps me going is I'm having a great time doing it, and I know that when we're finished it, people will have a great time watching it. And I really think, in all seriousness, the world needs more fun. So really one of our mottos and what our main goal with entertainment is to bring back fun.
Well, and the other part of it that I really admire, and anybody that listens to Ron Siegel Radio knows that I end the show with the exact same phrase every single time. And I don't know if you know, a friend of mine, David Meltzer, he allowed me to steal a line out of his book. And I guess I shouldn't say steal it because he gave me permission. Right, is make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun.
There you go.
What more could you ask for, right? I mean,
what more could you ask for? Exactly.
And one time I asked David, I said, why wouldn't you have it switched around a little bit to help a lot of people? And he said, Ron, I've been broke and I've had a lot of money. And if you make a lot of money, you can help a lot more people. So
that's fair.
Yeah, it is fair. So, I mean, it's exciting watching what you're doing here. And I'm sure glad that you're sharing it with us and our audience, because there's a lot in this world right now. And you and I were talking about this before we came live. There's a lot of things going on that people would never say face to face on social media. And I post a lot of jokes, and sometimes people get mad at me because they say it doesn't pertain to anything, but I don't care. You're having fun.
I wrote another book about in the fall called A Touch of the Madness, which encourages people through movie business stories, fun stories, to embrace their crazy side, to be more creative and innovative. And I wrote it because I've never seen a time in my life when people are more scared to do what they want to do. People say, oh, I want to do this, it'll be fun. Or they're scared. What if I offend someone? What if someone did? I can't do it. And so the whole point of A Touch of the Madness is to encourage people to pursue whatever that crazy goal they have that they think, oh, it's too much. I won't get it done. All of that. No, that's the one. You got to embrace the madness. And I think the fear, you and I talked about this earlier before the show started, the fear is what's driving bad things in the economy in the world. It's all fear. And by having fun and by going for your dreams and by embracing your madness, I think we can help conquer that.
Continuing our conversation today with Larry Kasanoff, we're chatting about a new book, a movie studio, and fun.
Ron, I wanted to show you a copy of the book.
Oh, that's really cool. Josh, make that full. Can you make that full screen, Josh? There we go.
The book than me, yeah. There you go.
I like the book better than you too.
You know what? I'd be worried about you if you didn't. And this is our cover model, and here's my little statement about it, and the pictures of the book is all this kind of vibe.
It's I'm glad that you're out there doing that and having the fun and bringing fun into our society. It's really needed. And where we have a a country right now that's so divided, it's nice to see where there's somebody out there that's trying to unify under the banner of fun.
We're developing a movie we're going to do soon, which is really challenging, called it's like The Hangover. It's like American Pie. Now, these kind of movies have been made for 70 years, except the last 10 because everyone got so conservative. Well, again, wait till you see this one, because it's just wild and funny and over the top, but it's sweet. And again, like what A Touch of the Madness, my book talks about, which is embrace your crazy idea. People say to us, it's the funniest script I've ever read, but can we do it? And if I showed you this 10 years ago, you wouldn't have blinked. The world goes in waves. It always goes in waves. What's happening in Hollywood today and in the world today happened in the 1950s. It happened in the 1500s. It happens. But so what we have to do is, kind of battle against it. And as I said, my not battle, but my mission is to bring back fun with things like Malibu Blonde and Supergiant Studios. And this movie I mentioned is called In the Pink. And almost all our projects have some element of escapism or fun, or just have a great time.
You can go out there, and that's the idea right there. That's, I might even have to go to movies again if you start doing this stuff, Larry. Because it's about, we're comedy. You have to be all politically correct, and I'm not, but, go out there and just say what you say, be respectful, and get that, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is of escape from reality. Where do you see the industry going, Larry? What do you think is going to happen with these things?
Every 10 or 20 years, there's a moment in the film business where people think, oh no, when I got in the business, I got very lucky and I got a great job as home video was taking off. And people thought home video will ruin theatrical, and it made it bigger. And the same thing's happening now. People are just panicking. People love movies. What I think it's such a fascinating time, because technology has allowed our movies, and will allow it more and more, to get to all these countries, which it never did. I mean, we've never really made a lot of money or had hit movies in places like India or Africa or Indonesia, and now we can. So I think the movie business is going to just explode, based partly on technology, but partly on just the normal course of things globally. I think we're going to have global movies. Most of our movies now aren't really global. We say they are because they go to Western Europe and Japan and Korea and the United States, but they're not. And I think they will be. So I think we're going to have a huge renaissance. And if you look at the movie business this summer, the box office is breaking records. People want to be entertained. Maybe certain kind of, Twitter people want to be negative, but the people in general, all over the world, want to have fun. They want to be entertained. So unlike a lot of my compadres out here, I am incredibly bullish on the movie business. I've seen this before. It's happened before throughout history of the movie business. You had a little dip. We had a pandemic for 4 or 5 years and strikes. That's what happened to the movie business. Now those are over.
Do you think that the advent of, the iPhone and Google, whatever their phone is and whatnot, is it going to push you even further? Because everybody and their uncle can go and make a short movie, albeit probably not that great, but it might get, I look at somebody like me. I have no clue what I'm doing on any of this stuff. I have, thankfully, Josh knows what he's doing. We've got almost 10 million views on YouTube. And we just go out there and we just do it. We say what we want to say, and we don't edit. We don't care. Well, Josh edits, but I don't even know what he does in the background. But is that going to push people like you to have to come with the next greatest because you want to stay ahead of the home guy like us?
I mean, listen, our job since day one in the movie business in 1910 has become to come the next greatest. You're always competing against something. When laptops came out, there was all this notion, oh, now everyone's going to be Shakespeare. Well, everyone wasn't Shakespeare. It's hard to be great. So we're always, in a sense, competing against something. And yes, there's a lot of information out there. But, if you look at Instagram, during the pandemic, we couldn't cast like we normally did. So we thought, okay, well, what can we do to find, we like discovering people in movies. So we started using Instagram to cast people. And you know who we cast? Dallas, the cover model. Not only is she a cover model in Malibu Blonde, Dallas is going to star in that movie I just told you about called In the Pink. So all of a sudden, this idea of, well, gee, maybe is Instagram our enemy? No, it's not our enemy. It's our friend. We find talent from it. People emerge from it. We can promote movies from it. No, people want to go to the movies. And to go to the movies is still quite a challenge to make a great movie. I don't care who you are or how many iPhones you have, but that's great. What happens in the entertainment business is the following. The pie is getting bigger and the slices are getting smaller. So if you can, be in the pie business. I started Mortal Kombat movies 20-something years ago, and now I'm on my 20th Mortal Kombat project, and we've made movies, video games, TV shows, animation, live tours, music. We had the first million-selling electronic dance music album. So you have to be in the pie business but it's getting bigger. But no, all this stuff is great. And every time this happens, people say, "Oh, new technology is going to ruin movies." No, it makes them bigger, and that's what's going to happen here. Couldn't be more bullish in business. So,
being that we focus a lot on business on the show. You bring up the comment or the thought of Instagram. Is that going to bring more people to light? I mean, it used to be that you had to know somebody to find somebody to get found. Now you could probably scroll through Instagram and find 10 models that might fit your need, and maybe you won't have to pay as much, and maybe it'll bring costs down for everything. Do you think that'll happen?
Well, I'm not sure that the cost factor is different because we're going to pay them the same as we pay anybody. But yeah, like as I said, we found Dallas that way, and we found 2 others that way. So it's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, anything that's a great new wealth of talent. We're always looking for new and interesting talent. So Instagram has been our great casting director.
Yeah, but something. I mean, you say that you pay them like you pay anybody, but I'll probably date myself here, but was it Cheryl Crawford probably made a lot more money than I don't know, maybe you might have paid Dallas, right? I mean, or some of these a big name celebrity. There was some movies, I guess 20 years ago, where you had people that were just being discovered that didn't get paid these multi-million-dollar contracts to do a movie.
Well, no one gets paid a multi-million-dollar contract for their first movie.
Right.
We do have there's a great actors union called SAG, and they have minimums. And so we do pay all that. But the really interesting thing is if you look at Instagram, which everyone talks about social media for how bad it is, look at the fact that someone who can live anywhere in the world has the shot of filming themselves doing something funny or interesting or fascinating, going on Instagram and starting a business from zero. That's unbelievable. I think that's great. And we look for people like that who we can work with. So for us, it's fantastic. People look at the negative aspect of these things. Everything has an up and a downside to it. Social media. Look, water is fantastic unless you're in the path of a tsunami, then it's not so fun. So everything has an upside and a downside, but the movie business and Instagram and all those things are fantastic. We also can now, part of the reason our book became #1 was because a lot of the models went on Instagram to promote it when it came out and are still doing that. And, as I said, we're having an event, and please come at Zinke in Malibu on the 17th at 2:00 on Saturday. We're promoting it on Instagram. So there's a wealth of talent all over the world. That's what I was saying to you earlier. One of the good things about the movie business is Instagram and technology allows us to find people and distribute to people in parts of the world we formerly could not. If you look at the continent of Africa, 5 of the 10 fastest growing economies are in Africa. I think more than half the population is incredibly young. We used to have a TV business in Africa. It's a fantastic opportunity, but no one's really focusing on it. We are, because now with a cell phone, just a good mobile phone, you can reach almost everybody everywhere in the world. There's something like 6 billion mobile phones in the world. So great. So it's a great time. The only problem is people don't think it is, but it is.
Something that's I guess you got to change the perceptions out there.
Yes.
Supergiant Studios is the name of the studio if you want to get that documentary done.
Not a documentary, a narrative film. Not a documentary.
Narrative film. Sorry, narrative film.
We start.
Got to get it. I got to get it right. Yeah. So you can go on and get that one. Supergiant Studios. What's the website for that one, Larry?
Supergiantstudios.net. Pop on, leave your name. One of our guys will call you, and you'll be a movie star.
Beautiful. And the book is Malibu Blonde, and we've got the link right there, rsrlinks.com/Malibu, rsrlinks.com/Malibu, and you can get that book. I might have to go there just, and I can't read, but I can look at pictures, so that might be a good one.
Come to the event on Saturday the 17th at Zinke in Malibu. It's great. Bring your beautiful wife.
Something I'll have to find out if I'm allowed to. I mean, I don't keep the calendar on the weekends, but I get told where I'm going.
All right.
But we might show up there, Larry. You never know. Never know who might show up. I appreciate you coming on and sharing this with us. We look forward to you coming the next time when you've got the new movie coming out as well.